Okay. Then first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hand out these notes, and I want you to just kind of follow along while we're doing this. Keep these notes, look over these. These are going to kind of be your guide as we go through. Okay, guys. Now, I'd originally planned to do this utilizing the smart board. I had a very nice PowerPoint made up. I could just click and move on. But as is wont to happen, the technology was not working this morning. All right, I thought a change of setting might help. Might be a little nice. You guys might have class down here. I thought it might be a little entertaining, help keep you awake. Fair enough? All right. Now, here's the idea. What we're talking about is impromptu speech. That means speaking on the fly. All right? When we're speaking on the fly, what do you think that means? Is someone get a hand up and tell me what you think speaking on the fly is about? Alfredo?
Like rapid firing answers to any questions.
Rapid fire, sure. So we're being put on the spot, right? We're being put on the spot. But on the job, it pertains to things like job interviews. Okay? For instance, if I walk in, sat down, and said, all right, Dakota, I'm a busy man. I brought you in here today to apply for this job. Why should I hire you? Now the pressure's on. Now I've got just a few seconds, not minutes, a few seconds to organize my thoughts and to lay out exactly why this person would want me. All right. First things first, the opening. Whenever I give you the question, when I tell you what you'll be talking about, the opening is going to be that first sentence. When I say, okay, Jake, tell me why you prefer manual contactors over electromagnetic contactors. There's our premise. All right, there's the thing we're going to have to talk about. That's for your opening statement. In the opening statement, you're also going to reinforce that thing with your key points. You're using it like a guideline, okay? The opening statement is to help you focus because you're not going to have notes most of the time, right? You're going to be on the spot and you're going to have to fly with it. You're going to have to let it flow. For some of you, that's going to be really hard. All right, some of you are born with a gift of gab, silver tongue, it'll be easy. The rest of us, we struggle. All right, and that's why we're talking about it. Now, that opening statement is an outline for the whole conversation. Okay? Here's what I wanted to talk about. Here are the things I wanted to mention. These key points are kind of like your roadmap for the conversation. I want you to try and pick out 3 things. Okay? If you can come up with 3 solid points, remember, we don't want it to be fluff. We don't want it to be something that doesn't really relate. All right? So, now, what could be some key points? If I said, let's talk about single phase versus 3-phase. Can someone put a hand up and give me a point? Someone other than Alfredo. He's doing a great job. Let's see. Corey, can you give me 1 point to talk about on single phase versus 3-phase power? Nothing? A circuit? Good. What about the circuits? Okay, good. Switches, contactors, different devices we could use for each one of those types of power. That's not bad. What else? Let's see. Ryan?
120.
120? What about 120, Ryan?
120 volts. For one leg is 120 volts, and then it would be 240 volts.
All right, so there's different voltages. Try not to get tangled up in specifics, okay? You do want as much information as you're comfortable with, but don't go outside your comfort range, right? Especially in impromptu speech. Alfredo?
The easiest one is single phase uses one hot wire, and 3-phase uses 3 hot wires.
Absolutely. Now there's a solid point, right? And this is something like what Ryan was talking about right then. Voltages, number of wires, keep it in your wheelhouse. You want to steer the conversation where you're comfortable. Okay? That's very important. You're going to take control, kind of take the reins. Now, I bet if I was asking for 3 solid points on the basketball tournament that's going on right now, I bet I could get 3 solid points in a heartbeat, right? You guys would say, well, here's what's going on, here's what I think, here's where we're going to go next. 1, 2, 3, boom, right? Okay. Just try to plug 3. Now, we're going to talk about something in a minute that'll help with that, especially if you get up here and freeze. Because that's likely to happen. That does happen, okay? And nobody's going to judge you or laugh at you, hopefully not. But we'll talk about a way to kind of find your way back. All right? Now, a closing. So if I open up, well, I'd like to talk about some of the difference about single-phase versus three-phase power. Some of the things I'd like to discuss are going to be, we'll have my 3 points, right? Devices, the number of hots required, the difference in voltages. There's our 3 points that you guys already brought up. When I'm done, I'm going to say, all right, I really appreciate you taking the time, giving me your attention, and listening to me speak about single-phase versus three-phase power, and about devices, voltages, and the number of hots involved. See how we bring everything back to close? We want to make sure that everything is covered. So far, we've covered the opening. Why am I talking? What am I talking about? The key points. What are the main things I want to talk about? The closing statement. I'm simply reiterating what I did with my opening. I'm simply saying, here's what I wanted to talk about. Thanks for listening. All right? Body language. Now you'll notice that if I'm standing here talking to you, it's almost like someone's putting on a show for you, right? Like I'm going to make sure that I'm standing tall, chin up, I'm going to make eye contact, and I'm going to maintain a very certain look. I'm not going to sit there and go, well, how's it going, guys? You doing okay? All right, I want to talk to you guys. I'd like to have a conversation, right? One looks lazy, the other one looks like I'm psychotic. Okay, so we want to make sure that our body language says what we want to talk about, right? What are some good body language I want to do? Foley, can you give me one good body language? What one good thing I can do non-verbally to communicate?
Have a certain presence, just stand straight, shoulders back.
Good. Stand straight, shoulders back, right? That says what? What's that saying? I am not lazy, confident, I'm prepared. Okay, I'm not nervous. Now, that's okay, Joseph. Just go ahead and grab a seat, all right? We're talking about impromptu speaking. I'll give you some of the notes in just a minute, okay? Now, what's another nonverbal way I can communicate with somebody?
Sign language.
True, but that's not what I'm after, okay?
Talking with your eye contact.
Eye contact, good. We'll come right back to that, Caleb, okay? Hold that. Eye contact. Why does eye contact matter? Any ideas?
It shows the person that you're talking to that you're talking straight to.
Great. This says, hey, I'm talking to you. I would like to have a conversation with you. I want you to listen to me. Or, another way to think about this, what if there's someone in the crowd who may be trying to heckle you a little bit, right? Someone's trying to make it hard. A little bit of eye contact can go a long way. Just say, listen, I command a little bit of respect here. I'm talking. Right? That can help. All right. What was it?
Talking with your hands.
Talking with our hands. Okay? All right, talking with our hands. Talking with our hands is very important. If I'm up here doing this, I'm sending one message, right? Maybe I'm wearing baggy breeches that day and I got to keep them pulled up, right? Maybe I'm nervous. Anybody ever see that? You see someone with their hands in their pockets being nervous, maybe too relaxed for the occasion? Right? What if I'm doing all this? What does this convey? If I'm waving them around erratically, I'm all over the place. What? Maybe crazy, maybe excited, right? What about this kind of language with our hands going? You.
Uncle Sam.
The Uncle Sam, that's right. We're commanding, saying, you are listening. I'm talking to you. You gotta be careful about that though. Why? Jake? Why would be uncomfortable? Me going?
I'm being comfortable.
Yeah, we might make someone uncomfortable. We might put them on the spot, right? That may be a little too much for some people. You have to learn to read the crowd. You watch their body language as much as they watch yours. All right. Our tone. Our tone. Be very careful about tone. So be professional, especially in something like a job interview or before or after shift meeting. The way that you speak is going to matter. And you have to judge it by your crowd. It is perfectly fine for me to get in front of a crowd of friends and say, hey guys, how's it going? I'm so glad to see you. Yeah, let's go inside. Come on, the game's on. Right? Is that appropriate here? No, that should never be the case. All right, my tone should set the fact that I'm your instructor and I'm trying to teach you something. Okay, you need to remember that. You can use that to command. And I'm not saying stand here and go, I want you all to listen to me. I have something to say. Is that a good way to go? No, we can project our voice without shouting at people. Okay? You don't have to do that. Just by the way that we speak, the way we behave, we're going to command respect and attention. Okay? All right, the last thing, questioning. Questioning is such an important tool when you're doing this kind of speech. You can do 3 big things for you. All right? A good question can be a guide. So what I can do, for instance, if I was up here giving a speech on impromptu speaking, forgot where I was going, say, well, Caleb, what do you think about impromptu speaking? What are some things that come to mind? Now, I'm doing 2 things. Number 1, put Caleb on the spot. We need to sympathize with that. You need to realize that you just done that to him. Number 2, I'm buying time. By putting him on the spot, I focus the entire group's attention here. I give myself a minute to refocus. I give myself a minute to kind of bring things back to center. All right? Number 3, when he responds to me, maybe he's going to give me something to speak on. Maybe I'll have 2 points to begin with and I'm fishing for a third. All right? A good question can do that for you. Engaging. Sometimes if I look around the class and see guys doing this, or this, or this, or trying to sneak and do a little of this, a good question can bring them back in without me having to scold someone. I can say, Joseph, what do you think about impromptu speaking? And that helps bring them back to me. That helps bring them back in the conversation, back in the fold, without having to call anybody down. And again, the last thing is that we stall. Maybe we just need a minute. Maybe we're getting freaked out. We're terrified, right? All right. Now, questions before we move forward. Does anybody have any questions or concerns? Because I know that's a lot to hit you with. All right.